Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to my channel. So for today's video we are going to be reading some of my most anticipated reads of 2025. Now 2025 is the year of releases. I swear to God, there are so many good releases in 2025 that we're just all being gifted like crazy, and I'm here for it. I'm loving it. Brink, not so much. Pre-orders have been insane this year, but yeah, this year has been the gift of new releases. So we're going to be reading 3 of them because there's just too many to fit into one video. But yeah, for today's video we're going to be reading 3 of them because there's just too many. So if you guys like this, I'll do another one before the end of the year. But I've tried to go for different reads. I've tried to kind of make sure we're doing like one of different genres. I've tried not to keep them too similar if I can. So first up we're going to be reading 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊 by Rina. Guys, you know I'm obsessed with Rina. You know I'm obsessed. I haven't had the chance to get to this one yet, so we're squeezing this one in. I'm getting this one in. I'm dying for it. Same as 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊, but we're not doing that one today. But yeah, I'm absolutely dying. I can't believe I haven't picked it up yet. Time has not been it. So yeah, so I'm super excited to get to this one. We're also going to read Problematic Summer Romance by Hazelwood. This is kind of like the second book to Not in Love, kind of like a sequel-esque. This follows Maya and Connor. Now Maya is the sister of the main MC in Not in Love, and his name has gone out my head. It'll be on the screen, but yeah, she's his sister and Connor is his best friend, and this is set at the I can't even think of the female character's name either. Oh my god, I can't think of the female character's name. It's on here, but it's set at their wedding in Italy, so I'm super excited for this one. I just didn't even need to read Deep End as well, which was also a release this year. I am so behind. Thinking about it now, I don't think I've read any new releases so far for this year. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but I don't think I am. So yeah, we are going to get to this one too. And then last off, and what is actually going to be the first book we read for this video, is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. This is August's book club pick as well, so you guys want to come and join us, the link is down below, although this is going to be up after that. But September's pick is Kingdom of the Wicked by 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. So if you guys want to come and join us, read along, the link is down below. But anyway, yes, I'm super excited for this one. V. Schwab herself and her publisher have described this as toxic lesbian vampires. I'm here. This is me. Sign me up straight away because I'm here for this. So yeah, this is the first book we're going to pick up, so I want to make sure I read this, and I've heard from people that it's a really good book. I think I've even seen someone cry before. I think I've seen somebody cry. Hemi, I know, has said that it reads really quickly for such a big book, which is really good, because this is what, 533 pages, and this is the 27th of August as I'm filming this intro, so we need to get on it. We need to get on it. So yes, this is the first book for today's video. Then I'm probably going to read Problematic Summer, and then we'll be reading 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so here for it. Anyway, yes, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to stop talking. Let me actually put that up here on the TBR cart. Ready? And yeah, we're going to get going. I'm super excited for these reads. And let me know if you guys have read any of these books or if they're on your TBR. And yeah, let's get going. And I'm going to catch you guys once I have started Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. So it's been a few days since you guys last saw me. It's been hectic. I've got myself into a bit of a predicament where I've got a few books going on at the same time, and it's now 11 o'clock on the 30th of August, and I've currently got one book that I'm not too worried about because it's a read along, so we're not rushing through that book. And then I've got this one, Bury Our Bones, because yes, I'm still reading that one. I've got a Kindle book going on, I've got an audio book going on. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. And then also I still need to read the other 2 books for this video, but they roll over, they roll over. I'm not stressed about it to a degree. I'm just more frustrated at myself for the situation that I put myself into. That's where my frustrations are coming from, at myself. But I feel like if you guys are content creators, I feel like you might be able to understand and resonate with me here, because like we get ourselves into, I get myself into such a pickle with books and stuff, and it's not that I don't enjoy them, and it's not that I'm not reading them because I feel like I have to read them. I never pick up a book like I feel I have to read. Ever. Every book you see me reading is books I want to read, and I've just incorporated them into an idea for a video and for content, but they're all books that I want to read. But yeah, I got myself in a little bit of a pickle where I've got quite a few books going on at one go, which I really hate doing. If you guys know me, you know I don't like reading multiple books at one time. Thankfully they're all different formats, which really help, because that's the only way I can do it, but I really don't like to. So yeah, it's great fun here at the moment going on up here. It's fantastic. But yeah, anyway, the book, I'm only at 92 pages. I can't give you guys chapters because each perspective we start at chapter 1 again. I know I've had 2 Alice's, I'm on the second Maria one, and I've had 1 Lottie perspective, so we've been introduced to all of them. But we're still kind of learning them, we're still building them, we're still getting introduced to them and their story and their backstory. We've had 2 of them, we're kind of just, yeah, I'm still trying to just learn it. I'm still trying to get my vibes on the characters. I feel like I've not had too much on them to really get a vibe on them. But I'm struggling a little bit with Alice. Obviously Lottie we've only had 1 perspective from, so naturally we're not going to have that much of a connection to her, although I do have some theories on who she is. I do have some theories, but obviously I can't just discuss them. But yeah, obviously I can't discuss them with you guys because I don't want this to be spoilers. But I do have theories into who she is. The Maria, we've had more of Maria. I'm kind of having more of a connection with Maria because I'm seeing more sides to her, I feel like. Alice is definitely the one I feel like I'm most unsure of if we take Lottie out of the equation. Obviously I have not seen much of her. But Alice, I don't know. There's just something about Alice that I'm not quite sure on right now. So yeah, but like I said, this is a 500 page plus page book. I think it's 533, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm only on page 92. So I'm not far into this at all. I've only made a really tiny dent. So I've got a lot to go. So I don't have much to say. I was going to hold off a little bit longer before giving you guys an update. But it had just been so long, I was like, I need to give you guys something. Well, it's felt long to me. Obviously it's not been long to you guys, but it's felt long to me. So I wanted to give you guys a little something and just kind of give you a general update to where I am mentally right now. I'm a little all over the place. It's been a rough few days for me personally. Not been the best. But it is what it is. We keep going. It's fine. It's life. We love it. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, which is also probably not helped as well with sitting and focus on reading. But yeah, I do want to get this one finished before the end of the month. And like I said, it's the 30th. We have 1 more entire day left. We have, how much do we have left of August? We have 24 hours and 52 minutes left of August 2025. And I want to get this book done. But we do have sprints tomorrow, which is going to be very handy. So it means I'm going to be able to focus on, really truly focus on books and getting those finished. And I will get this book finished. So what I'm going to do is I do have the audiobook. So I'm going to sit my headphones on, I'm going to get comfy, and I'm just going to zone in and focus on Bury Our Bones. I won't update you till the morning. Where I'm at in the morning, I don't know. I could be finished depending on how long I stay up reading for. We'll see. But yes, that is the plan for me tonight. It's just to sit and focus on this and get as far in tonight as I can. Like I said, if I manage to do an all-nighter or I manage to read it quite quickly, fantastic. But yeah, that's the main focus and priorities now, is this book, and then we'll go from there for the next 2. But that's where we're at. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update so you knew that I hadn't forgotten about you guys. I hadn't forgotten you guys. I just disappeared for a little while. Not that you guys would have noticed anything different because this is the same video. But yeah, just so you know, it's been a while. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I need to start doing blooper clips. Do you guys want to start seeing me do bloopers at the end of videos? Would you guys be interested in that? Because there is so many I could give you. I could give you so many. Let me know. Would you be interested? Little bloopers at the end of every video. Not the point. Not the point. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna read, and I'm gonna come to you in the morning with wherever the hell I'm at in this book. It's the next afternoon. It's literally coming up to 3:10. I read a fair decent amount last night. I didn't read as much as I thought I would probably do, but I all of a sudden just started feeling really fatigued, really tired, and it was starting to make me feel a bit rough. So I packed up for the night, but I'm currently on sprints and I'm now at page 363. So look at that, the decent amount done. We are almost there at the end of this book. I stick by myself at being enjoyable, and I do think it's paced well, but I'm still not sure on Alice and what I think of Alice, if I'm being honest. There's just something about her that just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. I feel like as Alice has, sorry, I'm like squinting because even though the sun's not directly in my room, it feels way too bright, so excuse me while I'm like squinting, but she just gives off the air, right, of like poor me, this has happened to me, and she's just got all this emotion around it, which rightly so. I like to add in, rightly so does she have these emotions, like fair play for what has happened to her. But I'm like, girl, come on, it's happened. You have the right to feel this way, but like, what are you gonna do? What is there that you can do now? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, let's move along, okay, and live your life. Alright, like, that's where I'm at. Like, she's annoying me a little bit with her whole poor me act, like, this has happened, and yeah. And I'm like, just dial it down, let's go back a little bit, just, yeah. And yeah, it is an interesting story, it is an intriguing story. I feel like I need to clarify that, like, it is interesting, it is intriguing, and I've been very baffled by it from like things that I've seen and like the synopsis and stuff. Like, I was expecting it to be one way, and it is very different, and it has baffled me a little bit, but I can see why the author's done it like this, why she's told the story how she is. Like, it does make sense, and the connections do make sense. Like, I do see it all, I understand it all, and you know, it's done really well. But all that said, I'm like, it just feels, yeah, it feels baffling to me, and it's not gripped me. It's not hooked me. Like, I am enjoying it and it is interesting. Yeah, like, I am enjoying it. It is a good book, but I struggle to get into it. I'm not being gripped and hooked by the story. Like I said, it has been getting interesting. The last like 100 or so pages, actually probably more than that now, about last 150 pages, it's definitely been a lot more interesting and a lot more intriguing, because even though there's been this tension throughout, it's like up to level, and it's now made it more interesting for me. But I just don't know, it's just not entirely what I was expecting. And I know it sounds like you shouldn't really go into books expecting certain things, because like, you know, it can then be a letdown. And I wouldn't say this book's disappointed me, and I wouldn't say it's let me down necessarily. It felt like that a little bit earlier on in the book. It did feel a little bit earlier on like, oh, this is like let me down a little bit. I wouldn't say disappointed, but it did feel like it was let me down a little bit. And I don't feel that way now that things have picked up in a sense, but it's still not made me feel the way I thought I was going to feel about the book. And yeah, it's just left me feeling a bit odd. a little bit odd. But I think for me to be able to give you guys, I feel like for me to be able to pinpoint entirely how I feel I need to finish this book off and complete the story. So that is what I'm going to do. My sprint is almost finished. But yeah, I'm going to just focus, finish off the rest of this book, and then I'm going to come back to you guys, and hopefully by then I can pinpoint exactly what's going on in my head and how I'm feeling about this book. But yeah, that's a little bit of an update to where we're at and what's happening. So I'm going to come to you guys at the end, and we'll see what goes on and what happens. So I have finished. Oh shit, I'm surrounded by things, hang on. I have finished 𝖕𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. Do you know what? I'm thinking it's stuck between 3.75 and a 4. So I'll put my final one on the screen, like my final rating, because I'm still currently undecided, but I'm sitting somewhere around there at the moment. Again, enjoyable. It's a good book. The last 40% saved it, made it more interesting, made it more intriguing. As that 40% was going, I was getting more and more hooked. But I think I figured out every time two very important characters showed up on page, that's when I was losing my interest. And then there at the very end, another character would make me lose my interest. And I did find the ending to be a bit anticlimactic. Don't come for me, I know. So yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting. And again, I don't want to use the word disappointed, because I'm not disappointed. It's just let me down a little bit because it's just not quite fully what I was expecting. Although as I'm sat here thinking, I'm like, what was I expecting? You know, I'm sat here going, it wasn't what I was expecting, but what was I truly expecting from this book? I don't know, but I feel like it wasn't the route that it is and what it went. But yeah, I just struggled a little bit with this book. It took time getting into it. I couldn't fully vibe with the characters. I don't think I felt for the characters how I was meant to be feeling for them. I did, from a certain point with Maria, start to feel for her, I think how the author intended for us to feel about her. But I still, even before that, don't think I felt for how I was meant to. I don't think I felt for really any of these characters how I was meant to feel for them. Like I say, Alice I just found annoying and frustrating. And I'm just like, 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊, because I know we spoke about 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊 very, very briefly. I'm very, very mixed on her. I'm very, very mixed on 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊, and I don't know. Again, in some sense, she's a bit like Maria, and the fact that I was feeling one way about her, not necessarily how the author wanted us to feel about her, but I was feeling about her, and then it's changed, and I don't know. It just, yeah. I don't know about this book. Like, it's not a bad book. I really, really feel like I need to clap back because it is not a bad book. It is enjoyable. I feel a bit stunted in my views and opinions on it based on these things. But like, if I remove my hiccups about it, that's what I'm gonna go with. My hiccups about it. It is an enjoyable book and it is a good book, and I can absolutely see 100% why so many people have loved this book. I can see it. I can understand it. At first, I didn't understand why the author was doing it the way she was writing it and writing the story the way she was writing it, but as it went, I understood it. The connections were great and it worked well and it paced really well. I just, for me personally, feel a bit hung up on it. Hang-ups, that's the one I'm looking at, my hiccups, my hang-ups on it. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, I'm going to put my final rating here on the screen. I don't know, I feel like I need to go back and forth a little bit with someone who's read it and kind of like bounce off them a little bit with my thoughts and opinions and kind of just go from there really and see how I'm feeling. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know what else to say. I'm lost. I don't know what else to do. I'm so baffled. But again, not in a sense of being baffled by the story. I'm just baffled in a general sense around my feelings on this book. Because I feel like I've been on such a roller coaster with how I felt about it. So, yeah. But that is our first book for this video. The next book I'm going to read is Problematic Summer Romance by 𝖕𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. Today's the last day of August. This is a summer book, so I want to squeeze this in before it feels too late to read it. Before it feels too late. So this is why we're going to pick this one up next before we pick up Kiss the Villain. I really enjoy Ali Hazelwood, and I think I need this after this book. I need something completely different, something that's just really easy writing, and that I know I love this author's work, and I know I fly through this author's work. Like, don't get me wrong, love Schwab, but I know how much I love Ali Hazelwood, and I just know that I fly through her work, and I just devour it. So yeah, that's why I'm going to pick up this one next, because I know it's going to be a quick read for me. And plus we are going to be going back into a world that we've been into before, reuniting with some characters that we've already met. So yeah, I am excited. So yeah, I'm gonna sort myself out, do my review bits for this, talk to people, figure out how I'm truly feeling, and go from there. And then we're going to pick up Problematic Summer Romance and just chill for the rest of the day, because it is 6 minutes to 7 in the evening. So yeah, we're going to get going. I'm going to get started, get myself sorted and all that random shiz. Hey, you guys are currently sat on the bookshelf, so bear with us, but Problematic Summer, I've made it to page bang on 100, I believe. Yes, bang on 100. I'm now at 6 days before the wedding. So we've had the characters arrive in Italy. We're kind of getting glimpses of their backstory and like kind of what happened between Maya and Connor back in the past. And as we're reading this, I keep trying to recall Eli and Rue's story, but it keeps like going from my mind. I can't pinpoint Eli and Rue's story. So every time something gets mentioned, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that did happen. I just like, my brain's like, yeah, there's little bits that I do obviously remember, and like as characters' names are popping up, I'm like, oh, I remember that part. Other bits I'm like, okay. But yeah, we've kind of getting little bits of that. We're obviously kind of getting the vibes on their dynamics now, where they are after what happened, and like, yeah, when we're kind of flipping back to the past in like flashbacks, we're obviously going back to before the big thing happened that then meant that they don't talk anymore, because they used to be like good friends as well before this thing happened, which we do have an inkling to kind of what it was, but we don't know really to the extent of what it was. But we've gone back to look at time to really see what made them connect and what made them build that friendship, and then we're kind of buddying along with that in that time frame, as well as obviously now the present and seeing the aftermath of what it was that happened. And we're kind of seeing these two different dynamics, and when we're seeing them, like, they are so different. Like, naturally you're expecting it when something bad is, like, some conflict has happened between them, and obviously now they're not really speaking and things like that, and you know, you're seeing the outplay of that, the consequences of that. So naturally, yes, you're going to see the conflict, but like how different they are is quite, I don't want to say shocking. It's not shocking, because even in the past there's always been that layer of animosity. I don't know if that's the word I want to go for, but I'm going to take it. We're gonna go with that word. It's just, yeah, it's weird dynamics. They're very different, and I must say, at the moment, I'm not far, but I must say at the moment, this is not my favourite. I know, and I love Ali Hazel's book. It's not bad. It's not a bad book at all. I'm just not sure on the characters. I've always wondered, when this book got announced and when she said she was doing Maya's story and, like, you know, doing the second one to, like, Not in Love, I've always questioned, like, what was it about these characters that made her want to write their story? I'm still questioning that, but like I said, with the dynamics, they're so weird that they seem wrong, and they don't seem like they should be having this relationship. Like the friendship, yes, I can see that budding with friendship. I can see why they were close in that sense, and you know, I can see all that. But relationship wise, I'm not seeing that connection for them. I'm not seeing how that's going to work for them. And yeah, I don't know. It's just not quite what I was expecting. But I am only 100 pages in. Like I said, I've still got 6 days before the wedding. You know, we've still got a lot to go. We've only had the first day, so there is still a lot to happen. But I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not seeing how it made sense to make them a couple. You know, the age gap, I don't know, how long's the age gap? I want to say, is it somewhere between, I want to say 13 and 15 year age gap. I want to say. I know Maya is 23 in this now. I don't know how old Connor is. I believe he's obviously 38. It literally says it right here on the back. 23, 38, 15 years. It's on the back. So 23, 38, 15 years. And even though it's not written weirdly, like there was no sexual attraction between Connor and Maya as when she was younger or when she was like underaged. There was none of that. Like he has forever seen her as a kid. He still to this day sees her as a kid even though she's 23. Like that's all she is in his eyes. You know, every time we're seeing them have an interaction, he always looks at her like a kid. Like we only see Maya's perspective. We don't have anything from Connor's POV at all. Just flip. I'm not going to see Connor anywhere in my fourth POV. I don't think so. And yeah, just from every time they're interacting, he just sees her as a kid and like, he's not nasty to her. I would say he's nasty. Like it definitely can come across as very nasty. But he's just such a blunt character. He's just such a blunt character, so anything he says just comes off really blunt and it can come across quite mean. And don't get me wrong at all, he does say some things that are like, the intention is to hurt. So like, don't get me wrong, he does have those moments where he does say things in the intention to harm her. To a degree. But he's not like a mean person, he's just so blunt. And Maya's just this like, I wouldn't say bubbly character, she's not really bubbly, but like she is very much the opposite of him, very much so. So like I said, I'm just trying to figure out how they work, how they make sense as a couple. I'm not seeing it right now. And you know, she's putting up with a lot, even in these first 100 pages. Like she's putting up with a lot from him. And don't get me wrong, he has done the most sweetest and kindest act for her. Like I know I've just said he's very blunt and he says things that like with intentions to harm and, you know, that come across mean, but he has done the most sweetest and perfect of acts that he could have done to her. But this was back in the past, which is one of the events that's led to them building this friendship, and it's just gone downhill from there. I can just see it, it's just going down from there. We just know it. So yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. Like I said, it's not a bad book and it's reading quickly, which is good, but I'm not seeing it right now, which is okay. It happens, but it's just coming up to 10:30. This book is how long? 397 pages. I've got 297 to go, so I'm going to try and smash out as much tonight as possible. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to put Labyrinth on, which has been my bedtime film for like the last nearly 3 weeks now. I'm going to watch Labyrinth. I'm going to get cozy, and we're just going to try and devour as much of this book tonight as possible in the hopes that I can finish it tomorrow morning. If not finish it tonight, who knows? We'll see how long I stay up for. I'm going to stop 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈. I'm going to go put Labyrinth on. I'm going to go get cozy, and we are going to read as much of this book as we possibly can tonight. Morning. Let's ignore whatever's going on here. We're gonna ignore it. It's not happening. I read last night up to chapter 25, page 222, so I made another really good decent chunk into it last night. I haven't got too much left to go, and yeah, this dude is so frustrating. Like, he's just so, I don't even know how to describe him. He's just still so, he can be so cruel, like in his actions and in his words. I said last night, like, he can say things and they can really hit hard, they can really hit home. And he sees himself as so entitled, right? And probably not in the way you're assuming I'm saying that, because this girl, right, Maya, is putting up with way too much shit for my liking. Like, this girl just needs to fucking forget him and move on, because like, this dude's just not worth it. Okay, not worth the time whatsoever. Like, just stop. Move on. He's told you, he's acting like a dick, get out. Like, do you know what I mean? This girl is trying to make steps in life. Again, relationship wise, like, she is trying, and he keeps stopping her, but then he won't admit his feelings, because you can see that he likes her. You can see it, like, in his actions and things like that. Like, you can see how much he likes her, but he refuses to see it. His age, the age gap is his biggest thing, and it's like, it's a fucking number. You're both adults. These feelings weren't there when she was a kid. It wasn't that. It's not any way, shape or form can it be taken as anything else. And he just keeps throwing that in her face. But then when she tries to move on, he doesn't like it. And it's like, dude, you can't have it both ways. You tell her to move on, but then you don't like it. And then she throws the ultimatum at you, you still say no. So then she moves on again, and you don't like it. Dude, seriously, you're doing my head in. Like, you're doing my fucking head in. Like, I can't. See, like, right here, for example, chapter 21. Honestly, I say it quietly, I thought you'd be happy about you behaving unsafely, about me directing my focus to someone who's age appropriate. His eyelids flutter closed. When he opens them again, his voice is a little more rough. I want you to delete that number. I don't know how full open. You do. I'll get right to it then. I'm serious. Are you? Because when an adult man who has adamantly refused to have a single conversation with me for the past 10 months thinks he can tell me what to do with my time, with my body, or with my phone, his hold hardens on me and my heart skips. I get a gust of euphoria blows through me, and this time I don't bother holding back my laughter. Connor, you have to be joking. Meeting up with someone you know nothing about is dangerous, and if you got a picture of his ID, you cannot be sure. Okay, yeah, very realistic. Background checks will totally something I've run every time I want to hook up with someone. Like, just, this dude, this is what I mean. He's just being an arse. Like, you can see he cares, because the fact that he doesn't like seeing her with anybody else, but then when she tries to move on, he stops it, and it's like, he's frustrating me. He is frustrating me. I'm not vibing with this dude. Like, I'm just not vibing with him. So yeah, that's what's happened last night. And Maya, like I said, Maya just needs to, she needs to gain some self-respect. Because this girl is just, it's like she has no self-respect right now. The way she keeps throwing herself at him, and he's just like, no, and she just keeps going. And I'm like, my girl, just stop. Just stop. This dude is not worth it one bit. So please stop. But yeah, so today's plans, what time? It is coming up to 20 to 10. I go to my grandparents. It's a Tuesday, so I will be taking this book with me. I should smash this out this morning. I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna just read this before we go, take this with me, finish off whatever I have left at my grandparents, and then I'll come back and update you guys on what's happened and where I'm at. I did search up, right, okay, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I looked at it last night. I did search up my thoughts on Not in Love, because I couldn't remember. Remember that discussion yesterday when I was like, what did I think of Not in Love? Not in Love, I gave it 3.75. Okay, this was my review. I enjoyed reading this. It's a good book, but not personally my favourite of her work. The beginning was a little hard to get a vibe on, and certain parts felt a little robotic. The writing is still really good throughout the book. I just think it was the plot and the characters that made it feel like that. But halfway things really started picking up, and we started seeing the characters interact in a more romantic way, which I think really helped the plot along as well. I was fully immersed into the book by 3/4 of the way through and eager to see what was going to happen. I still recommend this book if you're looking for a nice, easy, quick read. And that kind of still feels like that with this book. I'm having these same feelings. The writing is still really good. It flows quickly. It's quick and easy read. I'm just not. I think this universe, like 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈 and like these characters, like all the side characters and stuff, I think they're not my favourite universe of hers that she's written. But I say universe, like the collective that she's written, I don't think they're my favourites. I think there's just something about this group of people that are just not it for me, and that's okay. Like, I love her work, but there's always going to be those one or two that just don't sit with you. It's natural, it is what it is, not every book is for you. And I think Not in Love in this one is probably going to be my 2 of hers. I do still have yet to read Deep End, and that has been a very controversial book this year. It's one of those ones that you've either loved it or hated it. I might put that in the next video. We'll see. If you guys want to see that in the next anticipated reads video, let me know. So my plan is to read this once I've got dressed, take this with me, finish it off, come back, update you guys, and we go from there. Because I've got a feeling it's going to be a very long day. I have been today's going to be a very long day. And I'm still not awake. So I need to go get myself sorted. But yeah, that's the plans. And we will see what happens. But so far, it's not a bad book. I feel like I need to clarify again. It's not a bad book. It is a good book. It's just not personally hitting for me. And that's okay. It happens. It is what it is. I'm going to go and get this book finished. So today did not go as it was meant to go after I filmed this morning's clip. It's been one of those days, but I have finished Problematic Summer. I actually finished it a little while ago, but I'm only just now sitting down with you guys to discuss this because why not? I've decided on a 3.5 rating for this one because I did enjoy it. To a degree I did enjoy it, and it is a quick, easy read. Annie Hazelwood, just as her writing in general, which is really quick and easy to like just get kind of immersed into and to just zone in on. But the characters did seriously frustrate me. Like, Maya deserves so much more. Like, I stick by what I said. I don't see how these two made sense as a couple. I don't see that. The last 30% of the book was what had me truly immersed into the story and truly invested, as that's when it felt like the tension between them, because it's always been the tension, but it felt like that tension was being tested more and we were seeing more boundaries being pushed was in that last 30%, which made it that little bit more investing. It felt like Annie Hazelwood threw every scenario possible into that wedding and I think she could find the throw, and I feel like she did. So yeah, but the constant use of the age gap online, they did turn it into like jokes and stuff. Like throughout the whole book there was jokes made throughout about the age gap, but it just all became very repetitive with that being the reason and the excuse and everything. It had just become a bit too tiresome. And I don't have an issue with age gap. I don't have an issue with an age gap being brought up as a concern between a couple in a book, because naturally it is going to be a concern. Naturally it is going to be discussed at some point in an age gap romance. Like, I expect that. But when it becomes repetitive, when it doesn't feel like there's much backing up that concern and backing up that reason, and then whatever is used is repetitive and it's the same, it gets a bit tiresome and it gets a little bit like, here we go again. Just, it's like if you've got nothing new, like throw something new at her about why you guys can't be together, why this, why that, and I'm just like, please. Because yeah, but like I said, it's not a bad book and I did enjoy it. It's mainly the characters more than anything. The plot in itself is a good plot and I enjoyed it, and the flashbacks definitely helped. It definitely made a difference on their story, and I do wish we had Connor's POV, because I think if we had Connor's POV, my view of him as a character and my view of them as characters might have been different, to see it all from Connor's perspective as well, and like his internal monologue and his thought process. I think that would have made a massive difference for this book if we had that. But yeah, it's just mainly the characters I think that didn't sit with me, because everything else about the book was enjoyable and it was great. The writing, the plot, like I said, was good. It was a good plot. Like she did throw everything in at that wedding, but it was a good plot. My main thing is the characters. Like, look at the characters separately and they're good characters. Would I say I love them as characters? No, but separately they are good characters. I just don't see them how they make sense as a couple, but that could just be me personally. But yeah, I don't see, this is definitely taken root as my least favourite of Annie Hazelwood's work that I read. Yeah, like I said, I think that is my main thing with this book, because I think the story and the plot and the writing, if I look at those things separately outside of the characters, I enjoyed those. I think that's what made me enjoy the book. I think that's what made it an enjoyable book, was the plot, was the writing style, the storyline. Like, those things was what made the book for me. I think it was just the characters to me. They as a couple didn't make sense, and them as the main characters in this book didn't suit it. But yeah, otherwise it was enjoyable read. Like I said, 3.5. That's a really good rating still. But yeah, I am not disappointed because like it's not a bad book, so I'm not disappointed. I'm just a little bit, I think it's a little bit like Burial Bones. It's just a case I just feel a little bit let down. I'm not disappointed by it. It's just a bit of like a, oh, okay, wasn't quite what I was fully expecting. I think those, for the first 2 books we've read for this video, I feel like that's the vibes I'm having so far, is that they're just not what I've been fully expecting them to be, and they've not just quite hit the same. And that's okay. It's okay. Not every book's going to hit right, and unfortunately the first 2 books for this video have been that case. But you know what's coming now, and I'm so happy. Guys, I've been dying to read this book all year. Oh yeah, since this book was released, I've been dying to pick it up. It's time for Kiss the Villain. It's time for Kiss the Villain. It's time for Rina Kent. I have not read a Rina Kent book in so fucking long. I think the last time I read a Rina Kent book was when I reread the Legacy of God series at the end of last year. I think that's the last time I read a Rina Kent book. I'm desperate for this one. So this is Gareth and what is the guy's name? I've forgotten the guy's name. I want to say Caden, but I don't think it's Caden. Am I right? Gareth and Caden. Oh, I did get it right. Look at me go. So this is Gareth and Caden's story. This is an MM. This is student professor teacher, I think, / professor. Like, is that romance? I believe, if I remember correctly. But I'm super excited because Gareth is such an interesting character. From what we see of him in the Legacy of God series, he's a very interesting character. He's very, it's gonna say weird, it's not weird to use this word, but reserved to a degree. He's very much reserved in his sexuality. He's not like 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒, who's very out there, loud and proud by, like, he is that guy. He is not ashamed of his sexuality, and I don't want to say that Gareth's ashamed. I don't believe him to be ashamed from the bits that I've seen. He's just very reserved in it, and he's not very open about it, and he doesn't really like acknowledge it. I think is the best way I can put it without it coming across like in a nasty way. Like I said, I don't think he's ashamed of his sexuality. I mean, I haven't read his story yet, so we're gonna find out. But just from the glimpses of him I have in the Legacy of God series, I would just more say he's reserved about it and he doesn't really acknowledge it much. So I'm definitely intrigued to invest into him as a character and explore him some more because, like, yeah, I'm just excited to get back into that world. Okay, can you guys tell, like, my cheeks are hurting already. I'm just so excited to get back into the Legacy of God world and just the Rinaverse in general because, like, I'm dying here. I'm dying. In Caden, we have seen briefly a little bit of him, so I'm intrigued to explore more of him because he's a bit of a mysterious character, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, guys, I finally get to pick up a Rina Kent book. It's been so long. It's been so long. But yeah, I'm super excited for Kiss the Villain. I'm super excited to get this one. Anybody who knows me knows how much I am obsessed with Rina Kent. If you guys do not know me, you're about to learn a lot about me because I am obsessed with Rina Kent. Rina Kent is an author that I will ever shout about till the day I die, to my dying breath. I will ever recommend you guys to pick up Rina Kent. She does write darker romances, so please do check your trigger warnings before you pick up any books. She does have a reading order when it comes to her books and the universe, which I will put link down below. I put it together on a document. You can find it, I believe, on her website. I think that's where I found it, but I did put it on a document and I have been adding to it as with Kiss the Villain and Beautiful Venom. I've added to it, so I will leave that link down below for anybody who wants to check it out and check out her work and to know where to start. You can find that there. But yes, I'm so excited. You can tell I've said it a few times, haven't I? But I am going to be putting on, if it changes over, I'm going to put on, I put on last night that we discussed, which is Labyrinth, because like I said, it's become my nightly fill. It's bad. It's bad. But yeah, I have my Monster, which I'm going to be drinking. I'm going to get a can of drink out of the fridge as well. I don't even know what I've got in there. I'm going to pick something out, drink my Monster. I've got some water. I've got my book. Bear with me because I'm now zoomed in on getting this up and going. I've got my book. I've already done the review for that, so I'm going to get changed. I'm going to get changed, cozy up with my book, my Monster, my water, my fizzy drink I'm going to get, and we're going to watch Labyrinth. We gotta get on this. This has become our new favourite little spot at the moment. I don't know if that just proves how lazy I am, because it just means I can't get out of bed when I'm sat here, probably. But that's okay. It's fine. It's all good. But I did start Kiss the Villain last night, and things didn't quite go as planned last night. I'm not going to get into it. Yesterday was just not the day. Okay, yesterday just was not the day. I made it chapter 13, 32%. I can't give pages because for some reason on this Kindle book they don't have it. So yeah, but I'm at 32% and I am enjoying it. I'm loving being back in the world. I'm loving exploring Gareth because he's definitely a lot more complex than he shows, and it's very interesting seeing his inside mind and what's going on there, and definitely his view on his sexuality. And it's definitely interesting seeing Cadence as well, because they both, going into this, have believed themselves to both be straight, and just straight, like no interest in men whatsoever, nothing. But this is them proving them wrong, and it's interesting watching this play out. So this one, obviously it's a dark romance, so naturally lines blur. There are lines blurring. It's a little, I don't want to say jarring, but we are thrown straight into it, so it is a little bit of a shock to the system. And yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to describe the start of this book. It's just very awkward. Do I want to use the word awkward? I don't know if I do, but we're gonna go with that. Because it's just where they're both like so adamant. I say they're both so adamant. There's the adamancy in there that they're straight, more so from Gareth's perspective. And it's just like, dude, I don't think so. I don't think so. And it's just that awkwardness of like he's constantly bringing it up. It's just then made awkward because he's adamant of one thing, and I think there's more reasons behind that than what is shown and why he's adamant on that. So I don't really know how to process that until I've got what I believe there is further information. I believe there is some, so I'm intrigued to go into that. I mean I could be entirely wrong, and that could just be the reason, but like I don't know, I just have this weird feeling that there's something else. So if there is and that gets revealed, I'm intrigued to explore that. And there's a lot of mystery around Caden and why Caden's there, and yeah, there's a lot of interesting theories behind that dude, but I have an inkling I know what it is. Again, I have an inkling. But yeah, it's very hard for me to describe the beginning of this book without giving any spoilers. But, you know, I will always just still say check your trigger warnings in case, like I said, lines are close to blurring. So yeah, just be cautious going into the book. Yeah, otherwise, I'm enjoying this book. I'm very, very intrigued by it. It's just a weird start, and I do feel like, I don't want to say reused, because obviously it's a natural thing to happen when you've believed yourself to be one sexuality for so long, and now these signs and things are happening to, I don't want to say prove otherwise, but are showing otherwise and stuff. So I don't want to say it's reused, but obviously it is giving me the same vibes of Gareth, we had with Brandon in God of Fury. So it is giving me those same vibes, but like I said, obviously it is a natural thing to happen, is to, you know, be adamant that actually, no, this isn't, like, I've been this one way for so long, like, there's just no way, like, it's not, like, it is natural, but at the same time I would have liked to have still seen something a little bit different in it. But yeah, but I'm enjoying seeing some scenes again from Gareth's perspective, and obviously re-seeing some old characters that we love. Like, I've seen 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈, and I just, Brandon and 𝖜𝖊𝖑 here, they are like my top tier couple. Like, they're just, I love them. So yeah, so it was nice seeing that again, and seeing that conversation that we see 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈 have with Gareth, but from Gareth's perspective it's quite, yeah, I know, I've loved it. I'm loving it. I'm so excited. But yeah, so far, bit of a weird one to figure out, but I am enjoying it and I am loving the characters, which, you know, it's just a good time. It's just a jolly good time. But yeah, I am probably going to put that up for most of today because I've got to get a lot of stuff done. So I'm not going to be able to pick it back up until this evening, which is sad. It's sad. But it is what it is. It's okay. So yeah, I'm going to get myself sorted for the day, get dressed and just get on my things. So the earlier and quicker I finish them all, the quicker I can get back to kiss the villain. So yeah, I'm going to get on with that. And I will come and check in with you guys tonight. Morning. It is, I think, coming up to 10:15. Excuse me, sorry. Yesterday I didn't update you guys after yesterday morning because I literally done what I needed to do and then I just kind of zoned in and focused on finishing Kiss the Villain. You would have seen we had an issue. My Kindle just went blank. It just stopped on me. So I had to deal with that. That was a little dilemma. But I did finish Kiss the Villain and I gave it a 4.25. I have really enjoyed this book. Okay, I've really enjoyed it. I love being back in the world and seeing all the characters again, seeing, like I said, I think yesterday morning it was, seeing situations from Gareth's POV that like ones we've already seen in the other books, like so seeing the other side of them. That was really interesting. Gareth is a really interesting character and he has many layers. But I did notice, and I don't know if this is just me, the further we were going into the story, into the plot, the deeper we were going into Gareth, the more we were exploring him, the more I started seeing Nico in him. Now, nobody can be Nico. Nico is Nico. Nobody ain't gonna be Nico. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that ain't happening. But I kept starting to see these elements of him come through, and I'm like, okay, this feels a little weird. Like, I'm like, why? Gareth in the other books, to me personally, was very kind of stiff in his actions and everything like that. Like, he just felt very stiff. And then we've seen him in this book and we're seeing him with Caden and it's just like he's like turned into like a little clingy golden retriever. And I'm like, that's Nico. No, don't turn Gareth into a Nico. Nico's the clingy golden retriever, not Gareth. I'm like, don't do this to me. Okay, just don't, please don't blur them. Don't do that. It's not nice. But yeah, other than that, I did enjoy Gareth as a character and we definitely obviously learn a lot more about him, and yeah, it was definitely intriguing to see inside his mind. He's very possessive and obsessive, like to the extremes. I mean, all the men in this universe are possessive and obsessive over their women or their guys, and I just love it. I do love it. I do like as well how a lot of things got cleared up between our two main characters, because obviously the situation they meet in the first one is not the best of situations when they first meet, but to see that kind of get cleared up and, you know, them kind of like understanding that actually this isn't them. It was just a load of technically kind of miscommunication to a degree. If you've read the book, I'm not saying it was 100%, I'm just saying to a degree, a little bit, not massively, just the little bit was there. But yeah, just like the tiniest little bit of miscommunication, and I feel like there is some of that still as well throughout in other situations. I do feel like, right, hang on, let me go back to Caden. I haven't talked about Caden. Caden, he is very protective and very possessive over Gareth, and I love the way that he protects Gareth from himself, as in like he protects Gareth from his own mind, because Gareth can spiral like mad, and like Caden will do anything possible to protect him from that and to try and help him through that. So I definitely props to Caden for that, absolutely. He definitely has many layers to him as well, and his story is definitely interesting, and I do like how we've kind of set up for Beautiful Venom with like that connection, because Kane in Beautiful Venom, who's the main MMC, is Caden's nephew. So we've made all those connections and stuff. So I'm definitely intrigued even more to check that one out now. Plot wise, I loved their story. I loved the development of it. I loved the pace of it. It was all really nice and smooth. But now at the end of Rina books, she always has like a bit of a explosion of action at the end of her books. Like, it's pretty normal. But for this one, it felt like it was a bit extra, and it felt a bit too much of an explosion there at the end. It felt like there was a bit too much going on, and it was definitely a little bit of shocking to the system, I guess, because all of a sudden we've had this bombardment of stuff, and it's like, whoa, okay. Like, don't get me wrong, we'd had inklings to things leading up to it and going throughout the book. Like, there was those things, like they did lead up to it, but it then did just feel like all of a sudden it all just came together like whoosh, and you're like, fucking hell, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking hell, here we go, like this is a lot. But yeah, I did enjoy it, and I do recommend reading it. Do check your trigger warnings. Do that. Do that. But yeah, definitely check those. But otherwise, we've had a pretty successful reading vlog, really. Kind of pretty successful. They've not been too bad. We started with Bury Our Bones, which I gave a 3.75. Enjoyed it. It was okay. I just didn't think I felt for this book how I was meant to, like, for the characters and stuff, how I think I was meant to feel for them. And that kind of just, yeah. But, and it took me a little while to get into it and to kind of see the direction the author was going with how she was writing her story. But otherwise, not a bad book. Problematic Summer, I gave a 3.5. I enjoyed it. Again, it's just the characters didn't make sense to me for them being a couple. It didn't make sense for them to be connected and that, and they just, I don't know, Maya was very much deserving of more than Connor, so I just didn't really vibe with this one too much. But like I said, I did still enjoy it. And then obviously Kiss the Villain, which we gave a 4.25. so we've had a good little range of reads. We've had very different reads. We've had a fantasy, we've had a romance, we've had a dark romance, but we have done it and we have enjoyed it. And yeah, but I'm very happy to have finally got to these books and to finally have read them. And yeah, I am very, very, very happy to get some books off my TBR. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for joining us. Let us know if you've read any of these books you have seen me read today, or if they're on your TBR. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next video, so don't forget to keep smiling, be kind, keep reading. Bye guys. We're also going to read incorporate because you know, I deserve a back on the pat. A pat on the back? Back on the pat? A pat on the back, not a pat. It's on the back, Sky. Look properly. Get your glasses cleaned. Get changed with my book. Hello. Did you just say hello? No, I said hello. Close enough. I can't give pages because for some reason on this audio, happy to finally, oh shit.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.